Pies. I'm the owner of Biz Blueprint, and I just figured, I wanted to go live and talk a little bit. I've had an extraordinary day. I mean, me and the kid, we've been hanging out. He's been playing with his friends, and I've been taking a dip. I've gotten a few errands done, and I mean, to me, that's the definition of a perfect job. It's one that is in alignment with my family values and what I'd like to do and how I'd like to spend my time, because essentially I think what we offer as a contribution to society, to our family, to people around us, in essence that's what matters to me. And I mean, it's different for everybody. Somebody would like to get a big car, somebody would just simply like to feel like they make a difference. And I think that doesn't really matter what you do so much. I think what really matters is that it's an alignment with you as a person. So the best job in the world, well, it could simply be that you are a nurse at an elderly home. I know people who does that, and it's very giving and rewarding, and I'd love to do it myself. But I have a sick kid, so I gotta, sort of anticipate him a little bit more. I need to be around and to work from home. I mean, essentially, that's why I started my marketing agency. So, my question is, if you want to go into business for yourself, um, what's holding you back? And if the answer isn't missing limbs and you need to sort of climb a ladder, I mean, even there, I'd say I see some pretty amazing things and things that we can sort of get our mind around. I mean, people often talk about entrepreneurship and say that they think that, oh, he must be laying on a beach most of the day. And sure, I do post some pictures of laying on the beach, but most of the time I sleep way less than anybody else. I'm up until 12, 1 o'clock, get up around 4, 5 again to start the rut all over again. Because I don't want to, sort of put it on my family. And I mean, it is grind season, it's only up to me. And I hear all these things about going live and doing all these things online and how you should be viral and how you should have a content marketing strategy. And I want to tell you something that struck me as a little bit of funny. Because I have this client and he makes, serial amounts of millions of dollars every single year. So we got talking and he said, honestly, because I mentioned that I could help him with an SEO strategy, and I mentioned that I could help him with a better YouTube reach and a better Facebook reach and all these things that us internet marketers tend to think a lot about. Um, and something he said got me thinking, man, I got it all figured out completely wrong, because he isn't online. He isn't on Facebook. He isn't on YouTube. I mean, those are great channels, awesome channels. You should be on there if you have a purpose and a reason to, but you don't need to be. So I've started to do some things a little bit differently. I follow a guy called Miles Beckler. I've spent, I don't know, maybe 100 grand, maybe 50 grand, something like that, within the past year on courses and education. And I mean, that's a lot of money. That's more than most people make in a year. So what has it done for me? Um, it's enabled me to go to the beach with my son. It's enabled me to charge a little bit more than my competitors, and it's enabled me to make just a few more bucks an hour than everybody else. And I mean, it's not all about the money. I don't do every single thing in the world because of money. Honestly, I do it because I care and because I want to contribute and because I feel that it's important that I give back some value and that I'm present, that I'm there for my wife when she needs me, that I'm there for my son when he needs me. And I'm not I'm not super happy about having a boss. I mean, I'm probably not so good at authorities. I don't really like the fact that somebody stands there and expects me to do a certain task. And don't get me wrong, I have a crazy work ethic. I have crazy, insane work ethics. I'll come early, I'll go late, I'll work and not talk so much with my coworkers unless we have a break. And it's sickening, but I just don't like the fact that somebody else gets to decide my days, my hours, my time, my being, how I should conduct myself in regards to others. I'm very social. I like to talk to people, and for me to be told that I'm not allowed to because we have a certain set of goals per hour or something like that, well, that sort of doesn't really work for me. So I'm not really employable. I have had jobs for longer periods of time because obviously you got to pay the bills, right? And I don't recommend anybody if they have like a job or a day job or part-time job to go out and say, you know what, I'm gonna burn my boats and then I'm gonna start a company because it usually takes time. But burn your boats anyways. Just don't quit your job. Put yourself against the wall when you got no more options to go. You usually take some drastic decisions, and they might not all lead you to where you want to be, but some of them might actually lead you to where you'll be happy in the end. My wife has this saying that we meet our faith or destiny on the path we take to avoid it. And I think there's something to that. We may not think that it's nice when we don't get the job we want. We may not think that it's nice when people tell us that they don't think we're qualified for a certain job, or we might not like getting rejected from school, and all these things aren't pleasant. And I mean, they happen to us all. I've had plenty of situations where I've applied for a job and I'd be fully qualified, but they told me, "Oh, you're overqualified," or they may have told me that they'd get back to me and they'd never get back to me. And I mean, those are some of the best things that ever happened to me. When people tell me no, or you can't do something, or this isn't for you, then I mean, that's a chance for me to dig deeper and find something that I didn't know I had, you know? Um, I'm thinking a lot about how this has shaped me, and I think if I had gotten my way with most things, I wouldn't be the caring, giving kind of person I am today because I wouldn't know what it's like to stand without a nickel on your pocket. So, to find the perfect job for you, I'd say it's more important to think about what do you need and what do you like to do. Sometimes I'd like to think about what I'd like to do when I was a kid, and I like to help others. Like, I really like to help others. As I said, I've just been with a new client, and he had a developer developing his website. And I mean, she worked for free, so she did offer service, but the way she did it, well, it wasn't professional. He couldn't get at his invoices. He can't log into his hosting service to add another email account. He can't update his menu. It's a restaurant, the biggest pizza restaurant we had in the town where I used to live. Um, so, it would take them hours to get in touch with this developer. And I mean, sure, it's nice that she does it for free, but they can't be, they deserve more. They don't deserve to have to wait like that. They should be allowed to be serviced when they need it. As I usually say, it's the problem isn't saving money. The problem is saving money on the wrong things because they tend to end up costing you more in the long run. So I guess I had a talk with a friend not long ago about this, and he started talking about all these moral values that he wanted to help the world, that he wanted to do all this different things, and I asked him, "But what do you like to do?" And he gave me all these moral answers like I like to be of service, be of value, I'd like to change the world. And I mean, all those things, they're nice because doing something for somebody else is a far stronger motivator than doing something for selfish reasons that don't really lead to much other than a quick rush of enjoy. enjoyment. But we essentially got to the core when I started asking him, but how much do you need to live? What would you like to earn? And he said, you know what? If it's really just about making enough so that I can live instead of working to live, um, I'd like to make maybe 5, 10 grand a month. And I told him, but that's possible. What skill sets do you have? Well, sales. And essentially, we got drilled into that he could start helping people with sales funnels, which is also something that intrigues me. I mean, as a developer, as an online marketer, we need to realize that we get to we get more and more people competing for the same slice of cake. And if a bear's chasing me, I'll rather be a little smarter and a little quicker than the other guy. And that means sometimes I need to work a little harder, a little more, and a little better than the other guys. Um, so, in essence, the perfect job for me, at least, and now I can only speak for myself, is one where I can pay my bills. I can travel whenever I feel like it. I'm not bound by any location or any means. I'm not tied to um, a specific sort of location, but I can do it on my own time, on my own terms, in my own location or uh, scenery that I choose to. So, as an online marketer, I get the choice to, but most people, as you know, we talk online marketing, we put up YouTube ads, we put up Facebook ads, and I want to be downright honest with you. I have a fully mapped out system where all I do is cold calling and cold emailing, and it generates me far more than um, most of what I hear from my other competitors. They start out with all these plans and they don't really take the time to evaluate, okay, but what's the percentage of conversion for sending out 100 emails or calling out 100 people or something like that. So they instead tend to do a little bit here, a little bit there, and a little bit everywhere and hope some of it sticks. And I gotta be honest, if you don't know your numbers, you can't really improve it. Um, so it's important to keep track, to measure and optimize, and to improve on your rates. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to share a few thoughts and wanted to say hi and get a chance now that my kid is out playing with his buddies because he has his summer vacation and I'm trying to put out consistently a piece of content, but yeah, with him around, it gets to be more fun with him than consistent pieces of content, which is also why I'm currently sticking more to my calling outreach, my email outreach, and the sort of local meetups, because I can do those in between all the fun with him and still be efficient and proactive rather than reactive to the circumstances that I'm under. So, you know, I guess in essence, if you want to grow a company